I'm sorry, your voice is not
The
audible.
WhatsApp
What was
group
that?
was the WhatsApp group was created separately, right, sir? For
Because we want
online
all
class.
classroom to be in one group and all online to be in separate group, because we don't want huge number of people in one group. Again, these groups will be locked. We will create 5 other groups. Okay, probably today you will be receiving one message in WhatsApp group. After the message is been sent, the main groups will be locked. Remember this. All the updates from us will be posted in main group. You have to always look at the main group. Okay, for updates from us. These groups will be locked, means you cannot message each other from these groups. We will divide these groups into 5 groups, 5 or 4, I'll tell you. All job seekers into one group, like-minded people. Job seekers means who are not working in IT industry into, I mean, like, who do not have any job, simply speaking. You might have experience gap, maybe gap of 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. You did not work in IT industry any time before. Suppose, for example, you have worked in some company in IT industry or maybe any other industry, but today at present you are a job seeker, you don't have any job. You will come into job seekers group only. Understand? You need to join appropriately only one group, because that is going to save our time to reach out to you when we have job opportunities to the right people. Suppose if you feel like I wanted to see what is happening in second group also, so that I'll come to know more information and all. If you join 2 groups, we will dismiss you from both of the groups. Okay, don't think like we don't check it. We will verify everything. If not today, tomorrow you will be caught. So there is nothing going to be hidden. All updates you will be getting in main group. To reach out to a specific person as per his knowledge and all, I mean, like, present situation, we have these subgroups. Okay, otherwise we don't need to spend so much of time to maintain all this. So job seekers group and freshers group is separate. Freshers means you are a job seeker again, probably like 2020, 2021, 2022 pass out. All this is from India freshers group, India job seekers. Now you might be 2021 pass out or 2022 pass out, but you are working in IT industry, I'm talking about. Then you are not a fresher. You understand? You will go into another group called employed. Those who are all working in IT industry, either on development, testing, production support on PEGA, Java, .NET, mainframes, any technology, employed into IT companies, maybe since past 6 months or 3 months or 1 month or 3 years or 10 years, 15 years from India, will go into one group. So far 3 groups completed. Job seekers of any job seekers before 2020, means 2019, 18 and before, job seekers one group. 2020, 21, 22 job seekers will be freshers. Understand? Of any degree into separate group. And those who are already employed into IT, maybe since past 3 months or 6 months or 10 months or anything, or 20 years, employed into IT, one group. Next, people who are connecting from USA and other countries, USA, Australia, Singapore, and Malaysia. I think even someone is there from Sri Lanka. Any other country, USA and other countries, all of you go into one separate group. Understand, everyone? Clear? And there will be, I think, 5th group, I'm not pretty much sure. Non-IT employees. Non-IT employees. Overall in a group, I believe only 20 to 25 people will be there. Okay, maximum 25, 30 resources will be there in a group, in each group, max, if we divide. So that in all groups we will be available admins. Okay, see, I got a requirement for fresher job opportunity. It will be easy for me to reach out to freshers group and take your details. If I want to know who are all the freshers in my batch, I don't need to again get back to you. I can directly go to freshers group, download all the phone numbers. I can directly reach out to each individual. Okay, so that is for the convenience of just getting the job opportunities routed to the appropriate people. Okay, mostly, but job opportunities will be posted in main group. But when we need your profile specifically to reach out to fresher or unemployed or people with working in IT. Suppose you have worked in IT in past 5 years, you worked in mainframes. Today you are not working. Which group you are going to join? Job seekers group only you are going to join. Though you are employed in the past, but today is the main thing, status. And people from other countries, you have to join the group, which I'm going to share you, US and others. Okay, I hope this is clear to every one of you. Am I audible clearly, everyone? If my voice is not audible, you don't need to report that. You have to reconnect. In between the session, if it is lost, then non-IT to IT, what is non-IT to IT? Today, you check your today's status. Based on that, you will be able to understand when we post it. Okay, we'll share it today, no problem. And what is that? Last topic, inheritance concept. Okay, we'll get into the subject now. See, I am going to ask you one question. Only one person respond. Okay, either online or offline. Only one. What is the purpose of inheritance in the real world in technology? Why do we need inheritance in the reality? I mean, not in our day-to-day life. In technology, when I am using a technology, I am going to use the concept of inheritance, correct? Why do we need inheritance concept in technology? That is the question.
We reuse the common functionality of the
Reusability.
I did not say this way. Without inheritance also, I can achieve reusability for your information.
To use another class functionalities and
To use another class
attributes.
functionalities is the feature of inheritance. Inheritance feature allows you to access the functionalities from one class into another class. I am not asking what does an inheritance do or what is the inheritance feature. I'm asking why inheritance concept exists in technology. Next,
To
why
use the common
inheritance
functionality,
concept exists in technology?
to segregate the common and the different functionality.
To segregate common and different functionalities, correct? To segregate common and different functionalities, how you do segregate in the reality? In the real world, you're going to segregate to have a common department and specific departments, correct? The same way technology should be adaptable. So how do you achieve in technology? You had set up different departments, correct? The same you're going to create it as classes. You created different classes. Now the need of accessing the functional features of one department to another department is there in the real world. How do I achieve now in technology? I need to access from one class to another class. Then what do you need? You need a concept of inheritance. This is the purpose why inheritance exists in the technology. So this is how one should know about or understand about technology. It is not like inheritance, accessing properties from parent class to child class, inheritance for the purpose of reusability. These are all outcomes. Okay, the outcome of the feature, but why the feature exists? That is the main question to understand best about the technology. Why the feature exists? The feature exists because in the real world there is a need that we set up different departments in our business. There will be some common departments which will be providing functional aspects to different other departments. This same has to be achieved in the technology. So technology has accessibility given from one class to another class by means of inheritance relation. Understand? We have taken fresher interviews. Last weekend we have conducted fresher interviews for our company, and before weekend also we have 2 weekends we have conducted fresher interviews. First weekend almost 55 resources attended. Second weekend around 35 resources attended. Overall interviewing 90 people, we have hired 5 resources. Okay, because we started establishing PEGA team. So next week we are going to conduct interviews for experienced resource to start our experienced team and all. But now, out of the 95, a maximum of 10 people were able to answer what is inheritance. Out of this 10, Only these 5 are able to answer why we need inheritance in PEGA or anywhere. You understand where the people are standing, learning the technical aspects in the real world. I remember one person from so-and-so institution. Okay, I have asked him, what is inheritance? First question. He told that I will prepare next time and I'll come back. He did not expect that. He expected me to ask him maybe something in depth in PEGA. Probably I don't know. So there were people who are not able to say what is BPM. When I asked PEGA is a BPM tool, correct? Yes, sir. But what is BPM? I don't know. But they did not say, like so many people they were not able to answer. The people from our academy were able to answer this question, but people from other academies, they don't know what is BPM, but they are learning BPM. That is the situation. Okay, so know the subject. When you know the subject, you will be number one, and you should know how to understand the subject. That is the main thing. It's not that leave about that reading and remembering part. Okay, get rid of that habit. Understand the subject in the real world, then you can easily get it. Okay, already 14 minutes gone now. So now inheritance concept is the one which we were discussing about. You will get bored if I take this type of sessions every day. Here you go now. So now we discussed from the beginning what is encapsulation, what is a class, what is the purpose of a class, what is inheritance, and what are the types of classes. What is the purpose of inheritance, what are the types of classes? Two types of classes, abstract and concrete. I told you some thumb rules, usual practices, but that are not ultimate. Usually, in the inheritance relation, higher classes are abstract classes. That's what I told. Correct? Is it always mandatory? No, you should not say that. But in the usual design, I'm talking about. In a general design, we can say 99.9%. There is a chance higher class also can be concrete classes. Possibility is there for sure. Okay. Now, see, abstract classes are the ones, usually those are common classes, which contains common functionalities at the higher levels. Below, concrete will come. Is this true 100% always same? Is this always same 100%? It should be same always. Please take this chair.
No.
There are
No,
two
sir.
people who are yet to come. Come here. Okay. No, it is not. Can an application exist without abstract classes? Yes or no? In the practical world. Practically speaking, abstract classes are not at all required. Okay, then. Without abstract classes, we can achieve everything exactly what we are achieving using abstract also. Then why abstract classes are there in technology? Now, if you understand the concept of abstract plus concrete, you should be able to answer me. I'll show you diagram. Okay, I'll draw a diagram and ask you this question. See, I am trying to sharpen your thought process, your brain. That's why I'm taking it this way. Okay, otherwise, I can tell you by definition, abstract classes cannot be instantiated, concrete classes can be instantiated, and over you get 2+ marks for two marks for two marks question. Okay, this is what abstract. And what about this one? This is concrete. So abstract class and concrete class both will have functionalities plus some processing will happen. Okay, but concrete class will have transaction initiation. Correct? This is what we have discussed. Correct? Transaction initiation, is it possible in abstract? If you look at the diagram, this is a Venn diagram. Correct? Diagrammatically, you can understand one thing. Concrete class, transaction initiation, functionalities, processing, everything. Abstract class, transaction initiation is not there, but there will be functionalities, there will be attributes, there will be some processing processing related things will be supplied. Then why do you need abstract class? If you closely look at the diagram, abstract class is a subset of concrete, which means everything that an abstract class does, a concrete can do or not. Yes or no? Then why do you need abstract? What is the reason that we have abstract class? I told 2 points. One is abstract is a subset of concrete. That means everything an abstract does, a concrete can do even more. Then why do you need abstract classes again separately? One thing. Second thing is, what is the second thing? Like, yeah, that's it. Only this one. You just explain now why you need it.
By using
It ha
abstract class, we put common functionality in the same class so
That's what
that
I
we
was
don't
saying.
need to write. Yeah,
Class
we
is a
don't need.
class which can hold common functionalities, whatever its type. Did I say anytime abstract class is the only one which can hold common functionalities? Did we discuss like that? I already told abstract classes can be having common functionalities at higher level. That is not true always. There are some situations where you get concrete classes also being inherited. Possibility is there. I told one more point. Now I remember. Without abstract class, even one single abstract class in your application will exist and it will run, processing will be good. So here you want to place abstract, remove and place concrete. It will function the same way. You will achieve the same functional output result. But why technology has come up with abstract classes?
at high level to fix the
To limit the functionality of the parent.
Perfect. The reason is to limit the parent. What is that limitation you told? Elaborate it. Limitation you told, which is exactly perfect word. What is that
I will,
limitation?
I will
unnecessary
give
data which really not required at the top level.
Data. The person who told the word limit, please explain.
yeah yeah I will give one example, Harsha. We have Harsha Trainings, right? So
Hmm.
you have a different batches, and as a person, as a Harsha, you have the more rights to
Correct.
to the
You are
different
done.
batches.
Yes, you are done.
Yep.
See, I'll tell you the same example. I'm setting up verification department as abstract. Considering verification department will have some attributes, some functional components, and some verification processing will be done. Correct? But is that the place where we initiate business transaction? Are we going to initiate any business transaction in verification department? Yes
No, sir.
or no?
No, sir.
Suppose if we can initialize business transaction, starting triggering of any business transaction from verification department, is that the right way to set up a business? Is that the correct way of setting up a business? Is that the correct way? Yes or no? You need to speak loud. Be
No.
loud.
Yes.
No, that is not the right way. Initiating a loan processing or initiating an insurance processing from verification department is not the right way of designing your business in the real world, right? All departments are classes in technology, correct? Suppose if I create verification as concrete class, what is going to happen? It is going to get that ability to initialize business transaction, correct? Someone tomorrow may create a flow transaction model and they initiate the transaction from verification also, correct? Yes or no? They will be
Sir.
getting the ability or not? Yes, right? I don't want that to happen. Means I want to remove the ability to initialize the business transaction from a concrete class. Removing that ability, I just labeled it as an abstract. Why I have created abstract classes in technology? The reason being, in order to align with the real world needs. In the reality, we need to set up some departments which will not be able to initialize business transaction. Technology should align with reality, right? I have a concrete class already created and available, which is initializing business transaction, initiating business transaction. Then what about something which cannot do it? So remove this feature from concrete and make it as a different type of class called abstract class. Understand everyone clear? Why do we need abstract classes in the technology? What is the reason? We need some classes in technology which do not have any ability to initiate business transaction processing. That's why abstract classes exist. Suppose if I ask these questions to a college student, will he be able to explain? Explain or not? Why they will not be able to explain? What is the reason? Because they study only textbook as a sentence of lines. They do not analyze it in real world. It's not about college student. You go and ask anyone who is working on Java since past 5 to 10 years also, you ask them, I'm not very much sure 100% out of 100% will be able to explain this way. I mean, like not explaining, will be able to have that this type of realization of understanding the technology. So it is very, very important for every one of us, look at the technology always in the real world. Is your technology aligning or not? If it is not aligning, that is not a full-fledged development that is being provided to you. Okay. Okay, next. So this is about inheritance. Now let's go ahead and talk about inheritance in PEGA. Next topic is inheritance in PEGA. See, at the time while we create new application has got created, classes have got created, operator ID has got created, organization has got created, correct? So total 4 things we have identified so far. There are so many other things. How many classes created? What are those classes? I'm going to show you now. See, after you log into implementation application and click on App Explorer, going to Dev Studio, click on App Explorer. How many classes are there? I'll just create a document for us. Or document 59. I'm sorry, it is 600 batch, right?
Yes, sir.
600. Understanding classes and inheritance in our application, correct? While we create Signa application, I'm sorry, Symmetra, right? Symmetra application, it has created below classes. You know remaining rules. You are aware of remaining rules. These are the classes. These are 3 classes. How many? 3 classes by name. Each individual I'll write down.
Again,
See why I am
Sigma to
writing.
Symmetra has to be.
Sorry, I log into Symmetra holder. But whatever the class is, the concept will be same. Names only will change. Theory documents which I am trying to share you, right? The theory documents will have different class names, but overall structure, concept, everything will be same. Devimpl@Symmetra syme.com, right? Password rules. Okay, so the 3 classes are, first one syme. This is called as organization class. This is called as, I will explain you about organization structure also in few minutes. And the next class is, you should not read it independently. This one, this is application class. Why application class? See, name of the application, implementation, you go to implementation application definition. Actual name is ID, right? What is the name of the application? Symmetra A, correct? Symmetra A. Is that matching with the second class? The name of the application and second class name matching. Name of the organization and first class name matching, right? This is organization class. This is application class. Last class name, work. What is the meaning of work? What is the meaning of work? Where the transaction gets in. Transaction, work means transaction. This is the class where transaction gets initiated. Work class, this is unit class. I will explain you the meaning of unit in some time. Organization, division and unit. Now, see, we already discussed concrete class is the one where transaction can be initiated. So I'm telling, this is the class. What is that?
Work class is an
This is the class. Hold on. Work class is the one where transaction can be initiated. From this statement, you can easily guess and tell me, this is going to be abstract or concrete?
concrete.
This is going to be concrete class, correct? So then this must be concrete class. Okay, So we got 3 levels of classes created. How many levels of classes? 3 levels.
Three levels.
Organization class, application class, work
Work
class. Online, don't repeat. Please be on mute. Only when question is being asked, you have to answer. Don't repeat with me online. So organization class, application class, and work class. Okay. Now, apart from these 3, there are so many classes created, but our focus is only on these 3 classes. Don't think about other classes. Okay. Now, out of which I told you work class is the one which is concrete. How can I see the definition of the class? So let's see. Let's look at the definition of work class. Let's look at the definition of what? Work class. To see that, you log in, you come to this particular place, and this is the class, right? Automatically it will get loaded. When you come to App Explorer, this is the one that gets loaded. Right click on this and choose definition. Choose what? Definition. Right click on work class. Definition. Let me choose it is going to open. I did not choose any of these options. PEGA has automatically chosen this as. We can see that PRPC has chosen this class as concrete class. This is the class where business transaction gets initiated. I did write again. Once again, I have written the same. Understand everyone clear? So this one, everyone clear? Now let's go to the previous class. Previous to this, how do I navigate here? The previous one. You need to place your cursor here and backspace it up to previous class. This is the second one, right? See the definition of this class. Look at the definition of division class. Let me look at the definition of this. What is it going to be? Let's see. What is, I did not choose any of these options. PEGA has created this as a abstract class. What about organization? Guess.
Abstract class.
How do you access organization class? Backspace, right click, and then definition. This is also higher level. It has created abstract classes, right? Now let me explain you as a high level organization structure once before we proceed to inheritance concept. See here, this is organization structure. See, whenever you are going to set up a business, you need to follow some structural design to set up your business overall model, higher level to lower level. I have told you one example. Okay, that is a car manufacturing company is the top level company, and below that there will be distributors, and below that there will be sales points. Correct? Those are, what do you call it? Outlets. Outlets are the ones where actual business transactions gets initiated and processed, and divisions and like the distributors and organization will supply the needs for lower levels. Correct? Same way you need to set up an organization. Typically an organization structure is going to have 3 levels mainly: organization, divisions, and unit. How many organizations will be there? Only one. Remember, always only one organization will be there. Give me 1 minute. Those 3 resources, they did not come back. They told that they will be paying and coming back, right? Why they have to miss the session? Someone ఏంటండి ఇంతసేపు మీకు పేమెంట్ చేయడానికి క్లాస్ మిస్ అవుతుంది. Oh, so make it fast and come down. See here, organization, division, and units. Organization is the one which is usually a high level unique one entity, single entity will be there. Organization is always one which is a higher level of the business. Reliance Industries, Tata Group, these are organizations. Adani Group, these are organizations. Below that, there will be a number of divisions. Below that, there will be a number of units. Out of these three, unit is the one where business transactions gets initiated. Unit is the one where business transaction gets initiated. Organization division will supply common features for below levels. So if you say that, which one out of these three can be concrete level? Last one. Unit is the concrete level. Remaining about what? See, purchase, sales, this and all will not happen if you directly go to Tesla. And you go to a distributor, statewide distributor, he will not sell you cars. Only the city level outlets will be selling you different units, correct? Suppose same movie, cinema, that will be made by producers. Producers, if you go and ask them tickets to sell, they don't. Go to distributor, they don't. Go to theater, they will be selling you. That is a unit place where sales will happen. And the above people will be supplying the needs to the below levels. Same way organization setup will be. The same way the three classes have got created for us. How many classes? Three classes. Considering matching with this structure, I am labeling these classes as organization class, division class, and unit class. Organization class, division class, unit. The other terminology is organization. Division class is matching with application name, correct? So application class. Unit class, the name says work, and this is where transaction gets initiated, correct? This is also called a work class. This is also called as work class. Generally, in short, we call it a work class. Everyone clear? So now the need of creating this type of structure and connecting them, this connection is called inheritance, correct? So obviously the bottom level should get the accessibility from higher level, correct? That's the need. For that, you have a connection drawn. That is called inheritance connection, correct? The same should be there in the classes, yes or no? Now there should be inheritance relation defined between organization, division, and unit classes in order to access the functional components from one class to another class. Yes or no? Any common functionalities which can be accessed across entire application, entire business, you will place those functionalities in organization class. What does an organization class contains? The common functionalities of entire business everywhere. You will place it in organization. What about division or application class? Chappan. What about division or application class? Okay, let me write down these functionalities. Can be accessed into all divisions and all units. All divisions and all units. Make sense, everyone? Clear? Next, divisions. Units are connected to specific divisions. Yes or no? You can see the diagram. Units are connected to specific divisions. So the functionalities of division can be accessed into all the units which are connected to the respective division. Yes, correct. So now unit, what is this unit? This is the place, this contains specific functionalities of single unit, and this is the place where transaction gets initiated, processed, gets closed finally. In a happy path, it will get closed there. Everyone clear with this information? Now let's talk about the inheritance concept. So how the unit class is going to access the functionalities of division and organization by means of inheritance. Class to class is inheritance, correct? That is by means of pattern inheritance. What is the inheritance type? Pattern inheritance. See, there are two types of inheritances in PEGA. One is pattern inheritance, PATTERN, pattern inheritance. Second one is direct inheritance. Pattern inheritance. Second one is what? Direct inheritance. Make sense? Pattern. See, pattern inheritance means the inheritance relation defined between the classes by class naming pattern. What is that? Class naming pattern. You see here. See, when I ask you what is the organization class name, SYME, correct? Let's go to division class. This is the way you can backspace and access it. Symmetra, correct? Right click on this and go to definition. Look at the name of the class. Look at the name of the class. I told you ID is the one which we need to consider. Is it Symmetra independently written or Symmetra written appending to the organization class? What is happening there? You can see here the class division class is created appending to the organization class where the symbol is hyphen between this, correct? Go to work class. This is work class. You can see here. Right click on this and go to definition. The class name of work class is not work alone. Work class created appending to previous two classes. At the time of creating a class, PEGA is creating concatenating to previous above level class. This for the concatenation, it is using a hyphen. Diagrammatically, I have shown you this link. This is hyphen. Class A hyphen class B hyphen class C. So this is the naming pattern. This is the naming pattern. Whenever you are creating a class, if you concatenate the class to another class with a hyphen, that means you are defining inheritance relation between these two. You are defining inheritance relation between the two classes. The inheritance relation is defined by a symbol. What is that? Hyphen. So this is class naming pattern. A dash hyphen, you need to read it as dash. A dash B dash C, where C is created concatenated to A dash B. B is created concatenated to A. A is the top level. Now here in the class naming pattern of A dash B dash C, then the previous two classes are parent classes to the current class. Current, if I am talking about work, what is the parent class? Organization class, division class. Both are parents. Both are parents by naming pattern. That's why this is called pattern inheritance. So inheritance relation between two classes in PEGA can be defined by a naming pattern. By using which symbol? Hyphen symbol. So A dash B dash C is a naming pattern. That's why this is called as pattern inheritance. That hyphen defines inheritance relation. Hyphen defines inheritance relation. If we want to achieve accessing the functionalities from organization class into division class into unit classes, which inheritance is going to help? Pattern inheritance is going to help by connecting organization with division with unit classes. Make sense, everyone? Clear? Online resources. So if I ask you a question, what is pattern inheritance? Pattern inheritance is a naming pattern defined between the classes, naming pattern of the classes, where one class is being connected to the previous class by hyphen. Hyphen defines inheritance relation. Because it is a naming pattern with a hyphen separated, this is called as pattern inheritance. What is pattern inheritance? Meaning. Now, why do you need pattern inheritance? That is the question. Another question.
You can
I'll come to
access
that
the
question
functionalities.
sometime. I'll come to that question after some time. First, you understand what is pattern inheritance. Everyone clear? Next one. The next type of inheritance is direct inheritance. What is direct inheritance? See, for a class, we can specify a parent class by means of pattern inheritance that you know. For a class, we can specify a parent class. We can choose a parent class for a given class by means of which inheritance? Pattern. Other than this, we can choose a parent class to a class by means of direct inheritance as well. By means of direct inheritance as well. What is that? Let me right click on this. Definition of a class. This documentation is available. Scroll down. Here you see there is some class. Don't bother about it. This is some class. I'll explain about it. Parent class. You can see here. Parent class directed. Don't ask me about this checkbox. You'll learn after 1.5 months. Not now. Okay. Parent class directed. Here I can choose a class name. The class which you choose under parent class directed is a direct parent. Is a direct parent. See, whether it is pattern parent or direct parent, both are parents. There is no change. Type is different. That is we are calling it as pattern parent because it is there in naming pattern. This is we are calling direct parent because it is mentioned in the class itself. Within the class rule form, if you go to definition of the class, within the class, there is a parent class mentioned. We are calling this parent as direct parent class. Everyone understand? Pattern inheritance is class naming pattern. What is pattern inheritance? What is direct inheritance? The parent class mentioned in the class rule form. At the option of parent class directed. That is direct parent. I will explain you the purpose of these two inheritances. Why pattern inheritance? Why direct? See, whether it is pattern or whether it is direct, an inheritance is inheritance, correct? Pattern inheritance, it accesses the functionalities from class to another class. Direct inheritance, it accesses the functionalities from parent class to child class. Any of the inheritances, the system is accessing, a class is accessing the functionalities from one class to another class. Inheritance is concept will never change anywhere. Pattern or direct, inheritance is inheritance. But class naming pattern, if you have parents, that is pattern inheritance. Within the class rule form, at the option of parent class directed, if you mention a class, that is direct parent. That's what PEGA has labeled it to. Why it is, I will tell you. Now you are going to understand that. This is important point. Before we proceed to understand why we need pattern, why we need direct inheritance, let me tell you about PRPC OOTB. PEGA as its own platform, it is an application. This is what we have discussed on day 2 or day 1, correct? PEGA PRPC, instead of looking at it as an environment, you look at it as an application because it contains so many functionalities, correct? What is the name of the PEGA application? What is the name of the PEGA application which contains functionalities? PEGA rules or PEGA platform. You can say PEGA rules or PEGA platform is display name. PEGA rules is the actual application name. It contains predefined functionalities, correct? That means it should have some classes inside. Yes or no? Where does the functionalities will be available? Attributes plus functionalities will be there inside classes. Classes will be there inside application that is discussed on day 2, day 1 or day 2. Now, PEGA contains all its predefined functionalities in predefined classes. Where it contains? In predefined classes. For your information, by name, @base class. This is topmost class in PEGA. For PEGA environment, the topmost class is base class. For PEGA application, for our application, what is the topmost class? SYME. For PEGA application also there should be topmost class, right? That is what? Base class, comma, work dash. Class name itself will have a dash. Name itself will have a dash. I'll tell you why in some time. Data dash, int dash, CMIS dash, code dash, rule dash, index dash, embed dash, assign dash, etc. Like this. Top level one class. Top level one class. What is the name of the class? Base class. Top to just below. One level division, if you come down, you see work dash, data dash, code dash, rule dash, index dash, embed dash, assign dash, like this 14 classes will be there. We don't need to bother about all 14 now. Okay, everyone clear? So overall in PEGA, top level 15 are there. Topmost is one base class. Just below that, work dash, data dash and all. Below this, so many classes will be there. Hundreds of classes are there. But top level we were discussing. All the predefined functionalities of PRPC will be there in its predefined classes. Predefined. Instead of this terminology, I told you another terminology. What was that? OOTB. All the OOTB functionalities of PEGA will be there in its OOTB classes. Okay, these are the OOTB classes by name. You don't need to by heart to remember. As we start accessing each of these classes, you will automatically remember. Okay, don't by heart anything. So this is what OOTB functionalities are there in OOTB classes. which are there in OOTB application, which is not our application, correct? Which is PEGA provided application. Our application is Symmetra. See, Symmetra application functionalities can be accessed. I mean, like Symmetra application and its classes functionalities can be accessed by using pattern inheritance. In the pattern, same application class functionalities can be used. But what about PEGA platform application? Should I access PEGA platform application functionalities or not? That's the reason I purchased it, right? I purchased the PEGA platform and I created my application on PEGA platform with the intention that I want to access the functionalities that are already present in PEGA platform application inside its classes. If you want to access the functionalities from one class to another class, inheritance is mandatory. True or false? Without inheritance between classes, without having inheritance relation between classes, is it possible to access functionalities from one class to another class? Not at all possible. That you know, right? Basics, fundamentals of programming language, correct? So now there are some functionalities which are there in some other application, which is PEGA platform built on application. I want access from there to my application. How? I need inheritance, right? Already pattern inheritance, parents are occupied by same application classes. Only same application classes can be accessed in pattern. Other application will not be visible. Base class, can it come in pattern? Is it possible? It will not possible. Okay. I want to access the functionalities of some other application into my application. Some other application classes into my application. That is going to be done by direct inheritance. That's why direct inheritance exists. Now the point is, what is the purpose of pattern inheritance? What is the purpose to have direct inheritance? See, inheritance is inheritance anywhere. If you want to access the functionalities of one class into another class, use the concept of inheritance. We can use inheritance. Why PEGA has two inheritances? Why pattern plus direct? Why do I need two? That is to access the functionalities of same application classes. It is going to be done by pattern inheritance, class naming pattern. To access the functionalities of other application classes, that is going to be done by using direct inheritance. Understand everyone clear? Pattern inheritance and direct inheritance. Using pattern inheritance, we can access the functionalities of same application. Using direct inheritance, we can access the functionalities of different application, that is built on application. That must be built on. If it is not built on, classes itself will not be visible. Being built on, you will get the visibility to see the classes. Means application A is application B is built on A. B can see A classes but cannot access. Accessibility will come only when inheritance relation is made. This can be made by using which type of inheritance? Direct inheritance. Everyone understand pattern and direct inheritance purpose? Online resources. See, I'll tell you another example. Okay, let's say for example, you take a family. Okay, parents, grandparent, parent, child, like this. Okay, same application, same family. The inheritance relation is pattern, blood relation. Blood relation connected to each other, right? This is pattern. Consider this is a pattern. Same family. If I want to access the property, then what is the inheritance? Pattern inheritance. Pattern inheritance means connection is there between classes, link is there. This link is, you think it like a blood relation. Within the same family, having blood relation, you're accessing the property, correct? What is this inheritance? This connection, right? From class to class. Pattern inheritance. Clear everyone? This is pattern. Direct inheritance means some other family. How do I access property of other family into my family? I'll get married to a girl and get dowry, right? So I'll access the property of other family. So a person in India, how it works, I'm talking about. A male person gets married to female and access some property from other family by a direct relation, marriage. Understand? This is direct inheritance. You will never forget inheritance types in future, right? Okay. So this is what about pattern and direct inheritance. Pattern inheritance is useful. Is purpose. Why pattern inheritance is there in PEGA? The reason to access the functionalities from same application classes. Why again direct inheritance is there when you have pattern inheritance? To access the functionalities of built on application classes. Different application, that is usually built on application. Okay, everyone understand? Blood relation is pattern, marriage relation is direct. Okay, next. Everyone clear about inheritance concept? See, if you're done with this, if everyone is clear, we can discuss about this inheritance relationship further to change. I will show you the existing, how it has been designed when we create application, the modifications to be done as per direct inheritance. Pattern, nothing to be changed. Okay. So any questions, any doubts so far? Any questions, any doubts?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I have explained with example also. You can easily understand that. Direct inheritance is, you can see here in the direct inheritance, this is other application class, not a work dash cover dash, right? Is this our application? No, it is OOTB class. So I'll tell you one point. I mentioned dash will be there with class name, correct? If you want to access OOTB class also, you can see work dash, correct? Dash is there along with class name. I'll tell you the reason why. See, PEGA has different versions, starting from version 4, 4.1, 4.5, 5.5, 5.5 service pack 1, service pack 2, 6.1, 6.2, 6.3, 7. From 7, there are so many changes done for PEGA with respect to UI and all. Functionalities may be carry forwarded. See, up to PEGA 6 version and before, if you want to create an abstract class, the class name must end with hyphen. Means while creating A, you create it as A dash. If you create as A dash, system consider that particular class as abstract. If you directly create A, system will take that class as concrete. Later this is being deprecated and they are going to give a drop down. Initial stages it was like this. You choose here, not by class name. See, OOTB classes means these are created since the beginning of PEGA, right? During the beginning, how it used to be, a class name must end with hyphen. There is an exceptional case for base class, leave it. So a class name ending with hyphen is abstract class. A class name not ending with hyphen is concrete. Exceptional case for base class is abstract only. That is up to PEGA 6 version. PEGA 7 onwards, this is deprecated. In the class rule form, you will choose whether it is abstract or concrete. In the class rule form, you would be choosing whether it is abstract or concrete. Understand everyone clear? Online resources. That's the reason why you see class names containing hyphen for OOTB classes. So what did we discuss today from the beginning? What is inheritance? We already discussed. Types of inheritance. 2 types. Pattern plus direct. Pattern inheritance is a class naming pattern where each class will be concatenated to other class by hyphen that defines pattern inheritance. The naming pattern. Direct inheritance is a class you define or choose in the class rule form directly, that is becoming direct parent. Correct? Now, this is a simple thing. What is pattern? What is direct? Inheritance is inheritance. You can access the functionalities from class to another class. Correct? But now the main question is, why does PEGA has these 2 types of inheritance? What is the reason? Why pattern inheritance? Why direct inheritance again? This is the one where you see subject knowledge lying. Okay. Why pattern inheritance? To access the functionalities of same application classes. Why direct inheritance? To access the functionalities of built on application, OOTB application classes. Understand? This is the key point of learning in today's session. So I am taking so much time for it, explaining all this. You should not simply read and leave that. Okay, you need to analyze it in the real world, try to understand it. Okay, I'll share you the document. Hold on.